It's Destination Uri, the morning show. I'm Rowan Hand. This is Kay McCrory and this is Noreen Smith. These good people are Killoan Ramblers. That's an interesting juxtapositioning of nice words. Killoan and Ramblers. How long have you been rambling?
Well, with the Killoan Ramblers only since August.
Yes.
And the Killoan Ramblers started in April this year.
Yeah.
So they have been going 7 months.
Yeah. It's a lovely part of the world down there. And the business of rambling there is second to none. Because once you get up onto the hill and overlook the loch, for goodness sake, be absolutely marvellous.
Yes. The Mourne Mountains and the Coolies.
Yes.
And further afield.
Yeah. Noreen, you started at the same time as Kay, did you?
Yeah, I started at the beginning of September.
Yeah.
Yes.
What drove you towards the outdoors and the adventure of walking?
I've always enjoyed the mountains, and in 2005 and 2007 I did treks with the hospice, and I really enjoyed those.
Where did you go?
First of all to South Africa,
Wow.
the Cedarburg Mountains, and then to Mexico. Both of those were really great experiences, but somehow or another I got out of the way of walking in the in-between times, and I was very glad to get back into it when the Killarney Ramblers started.
Isn't it an awful difficulty in life that in our brains we want to walk?
Yeah.
Our bodies are well able for it aerobically because we've looked after ourselves. But then the mechanical bits of joints begin to give a bit of creakiness and going. Are you all right with that end of it? Are you skeletally healthy?
Well, there are sea walks and bee walks. And the sea walks are over the rolling hills, paths, treks and rough ground. So sea walks, that's fine.
Yeah.
Bee walks are a little more difficult. It's higher ground and more exposed areas, mountains.
Yeah, yeah. Now, the big secret is to dress well for it, but not to take too much stuff with you.
Well, you have to have boots, walking boots.
Yeah.
And then you have to have wet clothes for
the wet weather. Yeah.
And a rucksack.
Yeah.
For your lunch and fluids.
Yeah, but you know something? The greatest sandwiches I've ever eaten were eaten on the side of a mountain. There's something ignoring that happens there.
Yes, I think everything tastes much better when you're out in the fresh air.
Yeah,
You're relaxed and you're enjoying yourself. The crack's good. And
yeah.
It's just,
Is it about
as Kay
crack?
says, you live in the moment.
Yeah.
You live in the moment.
Is it about crack, or do you want a bit of peace of mind to be on your own, within your own thoughts, and your own head?
I think you enjoy
Can you
the
do
cracks.
both?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
It's a good mixture of everything, so it is.
absolutely. Well, what's the provenance? What's the genesis of the Killoan walkers? You're people of a certain age. It
Over
caters
50.
for people over
50.
50. Yeah. Well, 50's the new 35, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I would like to think so, because I've very firm resolve to become 120, and this must continue. But walking helps. So where did the idea come from?
Well,
how did it all start?
Pat McBride started it, didn't he? Norman?
Yes.
And he got other leaders from the wee Binions, and they're
yes.
trained. So
Yeah.
our walks are pre-planned and well organised and safe, because our leaders know what they're doing.
Yes. Yeah. Do you get the inclination to learn a wee bit more and become safe in your own right, and to become leaders yourselves?
Yes, there's a navigation day once a month.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, you can go and you can learn about pacemaking to measure distance and map reading and that sort of thing, yes.
Yeah. What would I'll ask each of you, your last walk that you remember well.
We both were in Howth in Dublin.
Oh, you go outside our
Yes,
area.
yes.
Did you go to Howth Head?
And that's exactly it. And we walked the cliff. It's quite long.
Yeah.
It's a sea walk. And we ended on the beach for a short bit, and then a hill at the end.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic day. It was
Yeah.
great fun.
And would you go for a meal then at the
We
end
did.
of the day?
We had lovely meals.
Yes, it was great. That was terrific.
Yeah, you felt justified at that stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we socialise as well as walk.
Yeah, which is a lovely idea, because very often people, when they get to a certain age, they decide they've been there, done it, got the T-shirt. But if they take the trouble to push the boat out again, so to speak, then lots of things are possible. You come alive again on the hills.
Yeah.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Well, as we say, we live in the moment
Yeah.
when we're on the hills because of the exercise and the beautiful scenery and the company.
Yes.
So we don't think about yesterday or we don't think about tomorrow. We actually think of what we're doing.
Of course, because
Walking.
on the mountain, you see, you're very well predisposed to that because there's the challenge of the journey out and achieving the zenith of the moment, and then we're coming down the mountain again, and coming back to base, back to reality, if you
Right.
like.
Yeah.
And reality is sometimes hard to come back to.
Yeah. So we go for the views.
Yeah.
We go up the hills and get the beautiful, outstanding. This is an area of outstanding natural beauty,
Of course. Yeah.
and we see it from on high.
Yeah.
And
Would
if
you-
you're
would
on the
you-
coulees, you can
yeah.
see the mountains.
Of course. Would you climb up, would you walk up the Rust River Mountain?
Yeah.
Have the cyclists got in your way at all?
No,
Or do you need
no.
to be careful?
No, not at all. The
How
last
would you get
walk.
to the mast now, for instance?
Well, we did that
How do you
a
do
couple of
that?
weeks ago.
Is it
We
difficult?
went.
Is it well marked?
Yeah, we went up a certain route and then ended up at Clockmore.
Oh, yeah.
And from Clockmore, we went over to Slieve Martin.
Yeah.
And Slieve Martin over to the mast,
Yeah.
down to Ballyedmund Wood, and round home again.
So that's the way you're doing it. You're going to the Clockmore, and then you're going east from the Clockmore. You're going out as though you were heading towards the lighthouse.
Yes.
That's down below you.
Yes.
You're not going up to where the cyclists are.
No.
And you're leaving them to your left-hand side, am I right?
Yes.
And you're going on up, and then you're crossing you're going higher and higher all the time to Slieve Martin,
Yeah.
and swinging back round.
That's right, a loop.
A loop back
Yes.
round to the mast.
That's right.
Do you know something? I came down. I would walk that on my own quite a bit, and I remember one day it was very, very slippy, and I was coming down a narrow track on the side of that Slieve Martin, and I was going the other way
Yeah.
because before the bikes came, and I suddenly lost the run of myself a wee bit coming down the hill, and I took a jump, but then I started to go faster and faster, and I knew I was in trouble. I knew
Wow.
I was going to fall, and I actually had to physically identify a point in the moss that I was going to land, and I did land, and I was probably a little bit shaken for a moment or two, but then got on with it, and it was all right.
Well, we walk with a group, so that's more safe.
It would be.
Yeah,
it
and you
would
go
be.
places that you wouldn't go on your own.
Yeah,
Rowan. You go
yeah.
lots of places you wouldn't
I
think
enjoy
of.
Okay, I have to tell you, I enjoy the mountains on my own because
Good.
it sorts my head out. You might have a very well disciplined head and everything's fine in your life, but sometimes when a fellow is troubled, they're torn between the immensities of love or whatever else, the place to go to chill and to resolve all the issues.
Meditate.
Meditation is very important, and whatever. You're still painting, you are.
Yes, yes.
What are you? But
Well,
landscapes.
I do portraits of my grandchildren now, Rowan.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's not about the mountains now. We want to
but I mean
talk
the
about
portrait, but I mean
we want to
painting.
talk about the
The
Kilbrony
mountain-
Ramblers.
The mountain gives you the material for your painting.
I'm painting portraits.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, some
But you
people
did- you
do.
did.
Some of our members
You
take
painted-
photographs
you
and
painted
paint.
landscapes.
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah,
did.
you're very good
Yeah.
landscape
Oh, thank
painters,
you.
I recall, you know.
Thank you.
What about yourself?
I don't paint at all.
You don't
no.
paint at all?
No, I
You
don't.
craft?
I just.
What sort of
go up
craft,
into
Maureen, do you do?
Needlecrafts.
Needlecrafts.
Yes,
I have a
patchwork
daughter
and quilting
who does
and things like that.
patchwork and
Yes, well,
quilting.
I have. Yes, well, I
and
do
then she
that
goes
as well.
off to Armagh places.
Is that
like
Rachel?
that. No, that's not Rachel. That's Anne-Marie. Yeah. Did you teach Rachel?
Yes,
Oh, for
lovely
goodness
girl.
sake. Yeah, she's one of a fine nurse now. A fine nurse.
Well, Rowan, would you join the Kilbrony Ramblers?
Yes.
You are.
You're very welcome.
Without
And you
a
know,
doubt.
our website is www.kilbronyramblers.com.
KilbronyRamblers.com. That's the one to find.
And all the information is
Yeah.
on the website
And
about clothing,
is there a planned program for
Yes.
the year ahead?
Oh, just the
No, for
month.
month by
Yeah.
month.
Just the
And how
month.
long would you go? How long would a walk take?
3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. We'll say
Yeah.
3 hours for the C's and
Yeah.
5 to 6, 5 for the B's.
Yes. I
So
have to
3
tell
to
you,
5.
goodness gracious, I have to tell you, now that you ask me, where would I get the time to do it?
Yes.
Because I'm out of bed in the morning at 4 o'clock.
Right.
I'm in here at 5 o'clock. This program goes out. I'm here until 4 o'clock in the afternoon preparing the next day. And then I'm back home, have my dinner, I'm in bed again by 8 o'clock. That's Monday to Friday. Then I go to Dublin on the of necessity on the Saturday. And Sunday I go, wow, I've survived another week, which is okay.
Did you ever hill walk with a group?
Yeah, it was. We had good fun. We kind of were the last of the summer wine club with Benny McKay and Patsy Quinn, and we were looking then. Women didn't do so much walking. We were looking for a Nora Batty then,
Right.
class of woman whose stockings fell down around her ankles. But we never found one. The boys are still.
You'll not
doing
get one
it.
of those in the Cabroni Ramblers.
No.
Well, people who hill walked with
Yeah.
groups, those are the people most likely to join the Kilbrony Ramblers
course,
because
yeah.
they know what it's all about.
Yeah, and it's. I really did love my walking, but I've ring fenced the next year. Do you ever do that in your life? You ring fence a period of your life that you're going to do something. You're going to. This is my concentration for the time ahead. You know, you're not teaching anymore, are you?
No,
You've
no.
retired.
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
goodness
But
gracious.
you haven't retired, Rowan.
No, I'll never retire. I'm 70 now.
Good for you.
Which is, and
Yeah.
I'm still doing the early shift at 70, which is great. I had Mark Carruthers down with me the other day here. I gave Mark his first job in the BBC, and we were shooting the breeze about those past days.
Right.
And we talked about people who are now gone, God help us, when a lot of our colleagues passed away, whatever.
Yeah.
Noreen, what did you work at in your life?
Physiotherapy.
Wow, you're a good woman of shoulders and cuff rotator cuffs and all of that.
Yes, well, that was
Do you
a
know
while ago.
something? That I really did bad damage to my shoulder because, and it was a devil of a grandson of mine caused it to happen. We Jack McCartan, who's a great footballer, but Jack was playing the ball to me higher and higher. We're out in the street in front of his house in Glen, and he was playing the ball to me higher and higher. And one moment I went high to get a stretch. Whatever happened, I tripped, and I fell from somewhere up there onto the ground, landing on my shoulder. That was not a good experience.
No, probably
you know.
not. No.
How was your own skeleton, Noreen?
My own skeleton's okay.
Yeah,
yes.
but as a physiotherapist, you would have known about the importance of.
Yeah, well, you've got to look after yourself, and as Kay said, you know, having the right equipment when you're going out in the mountains is very, very important. And you wouldn't sort of think of going out in new walking boots. You want to have them
you
sort
wanna
of
break them in.
a bit and have comfortable clothing and just dress for the occasion.
Yeah.
And
I have to say, if you saw my walking boots, they're very well broken in.
Yeah.
But there's an extraordinary thing about them. They are obviously good boots,
Yeah.
but I've worn them, and you might not think that boots that come up to here would be ideal for walking in northwest Nigeria or in Tamil Nadu in southern India, or the Mournes, or coming in here polished to do a show here. They work for all of that
They do.
because one takes the trouble to get the good boots, and then they make it worthwhile.
to look after them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when's your next walk?
Tomorrow, and it's a bee walk.
A bee walk?
The meeting is Carrick Little. and
Where's
they'll-
the Carrick Little?
Well, it's where the Mournwall walk used to start, near Rourke's Park. It's on the head road, and they probably do Binion.
Binion,
They may
okay.
skirt it rather
Yes.
than climb the top. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's a bee walk.
exciting.
And then the following week, it's a
Yes.
sea walk.
Yes.
I'm definitely envious.
Yeah, the sea walk.
time.
Where is that?
Ott,
Maureen?
they are Ottcar Park, I think.
Yeah.
Hot.
I'm really
And
envious.
that's near Spelga.
Yeah.
You're
Spelga
so
Dam.
fortunate, you guys.
Well,
We're
you
very
see,
lucky.
it's all a walk away, all this beauty and exercise
I
and
know.
meeting people and relaxing
I know.
and having fun.
I know.
And it's nice on a Friday because the mountains aren't
Stop
just
it.
so busy.
Stop it. Leave me alone. I can't do this. I want to do it. I can't do it.
Well, practice by going to Restrever 3 days a week, an hour each
No, you-
time,
Kay,
and then
you're
come.
missing, you're missing my
oh,
point.
you're too busy.
Physically, I could do it
Yeah.
and would love to be there.
Yeah.
But this is not possible because of my commitments, which is awful, you know.
Yeah.
Go well. We wish you well. And give my best regards to all my friends down on the mountain. I do think I have one or two down there.
Yeah, and people know where to find us, don't
Where
they?
will they find you? Talk again to the folk.
On-
You're going out to 10,000 people all over the world at this moment.
Well, look up the web,
Web is
www.kilbronyramblers.com.
Kilbronyramblers.com. Kilbronyramblers.com.
It's all there, the information, the program, what you need to wear, etc., equipment and all.
Noreen Smith and Kay McCrory. Thank you very much indeed.
very
Go
much.
well in your walking ways.
Thank
Some
you.
music for you now. I love to go a rambling on the